place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, stay not safe. Before you cross me, look both ways. Leaving the scene with no trace, none in my league. You out of place, I'm not at the top, I'm outer space. Can't eat with us, we're out of place. I'm doing fine, I'm feeling great. You're not my fan, you can't relate. Straight talk going, state to state.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, and the one and only voice of reason.
Hey, Michelle Rougeau. What's up, guys?
She's back. And of course, as you can see behind us, we're going to discuss Elimination Chamber. That's right. It's happening on Canadian soil this year.
It is.
Montreal, that's right. Montreal screw job. So many big moments have happened.
That was the only thing that I could think of. And I was like, is this going to be another one? But we can get into that.
We absolutely can. And we got a lot to talk about. We got the whole match card to run through. So this is happening actual day of the event. We are literally recording this at 3:30 in the afternoon. We're going to be dropping it right away once editing and everything happens. And we're going to be hours away from the epic match card that will be Elimination Chamber. And dare I say, with the fallout from Royal Rumble, to the build up to all of this, which we talked about a lot of things about. We talked about Sami possibly turning on Roman that night.
Yes.
It actually did happen. Not the way we 100% thought it was going to happen, but the storytelling was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
The best supporting actor Oscar award goes to Jey Uso flat out. He's just been electric this whole back half of this storyline. Jey Uso has really been the MVP. That and Paul Heyman and his ignorant promo on Cody Rhodes, and then his Sami Zayn kind of, I guess, semi promo when Zayn kind of interrupted him a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But the one with Cody was, and of course the Raw, literally this past Monday, Cody and Sami, and that Cody Rhodes was just next level. I punched my ticket. My story's ready to finish. You got to finish your story. And you just see the emotion in Sami's face. A lot of what was said was real.
Yeah,
it was real, heartfelt emotion. So as far as wrestling storylines go, before we get into the Elimination Chamber, let's talk storytelling. The big problem with WWE fans has been with the product in the last couple of years, not this particular storyline, but let's say the last 5-6 years to give some perspective.
Right, okay.
Storytelling has sucked. It's been bland. It's been very, very predictable. And don't get me wrong, wrestling storylines are predictable, but I don't know, the Bloodline storyline hits different. This has been an epically slow build that has just wrestling fans on the edge of their seats. The way that this has been designed, whoever booked this, whoever came up with it, and I know there are a lot of creative minds that probably came to a creative process together. There was a unified creation on this storyline, but there's just I mean, you and I, we've been diehard wrestling fans our entire lives. Pretty much since we were spat out, we've been diehard wrestling fans.
Yeah.
We've seen the peaks, a lot of the valleys, the peaks again. What do you think? Like, what's your perspective on the fact that this is the storyline that has wrestling fans, doesn't matter which company they cheer for, all wrestling fans are watching this, whether they love it or hate it. Eyes are glued on TV screens right now.
I think it's really just refreshing because of, like, if we think just a few years ago, people were literally booing Roman Reigns. Like, the people hated him, and I was very, very scared for him at some points because, like, you know how fans
like John Cena ECW one night stand scared. Like, is that what? There's actually a meme. Kudos to the person who shouted this out today. But Roman Reigns is going to walk into the Bell Center like John Cena on ECW one night stand.
So funny.
It is going to be the most hostile environment that Roman Reigns has faced in his 900+ day title reign right now. But sorry to cut you off. What you were saying?
Just they built it very well, even though some things might have been predictable.
Yeah,
they've done it very, very soap opera-y.
They've hooked you in.
Yeah, like they've given you enough drama, enough suspense. They've given you some funny moments.
They've given you that real life.
Yeah, they're hitting
hardship.
all of those points, like Monica and Rachel, like 7, 1, 2, right? You know, they're getting all the spots. They're getting all the spots.
If you don't know the episode, I'm not going to explain it to you because kids may watch this show, but we all remember 7.
We know
7
about the 7s. They're hitting all the spots, right? So I think that's what has people so invested. You don't want something that's very monotonous. Like, in my mind, like Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar may be monotonous, but we have been waiting to see this match
in the current landscape for a very long time because we never really got it the first go round.
That I feel like that was like a pregame. like a a preseason game. Sorry.
Got you.
Right?
It didn't. It's not going to hit like it's going to hit tonight.
Yeah.
And we all know that Brock Lesnar does not have much luck on Canadian soil. All Survivor Series
But I'm
2016.
so excited to see him.
Absolutely. Cowboy Brock
Yeah.
we've talked about Cowboy Brock. He's the best version there is of Brock. Now, before we get into the card, some highlights from last night's SmackDown that we'll kind of build into this. We know, since we're talking about Bobby and Brock, we'll talk about a little later on when we get to the match, but we know that Bray Wyatt has laid down a challenge to the winner of that match in particular fashion, and we'll get into that. We also saw Sami Zayn in the most real emotional moment I've ever seen a wrestler in, standing at the Bell Center, 50,000 plus fans clapping, saying, "You deserve it."
Yeah.
Sami Zayn got real. Sami Zayn got emotional. I got emotional with Sami Zayn. I'm not going to lie. Now, there's going to be people out there that say, "Oh, you're right. How could you cry at that?" When you have 15,000 fans screaming for a guy who the last couple of years has had a creative debacle of his career, from injuries getting when he brought up to the main roster, to having to take a back seat, to a lot of horrible storylines, to getting screwed out of the Intercontinental title on numerous occasions, where he probably thought that was the only title he was ever going to be going after, to Kevin Owens stabbing him in the back, stabbing him in the back, stabbing him in the back. There was that one time where he stabbed him. He's a lot of times. If you could write a whole book on how many times Kevin Owens has fucked over Sami Zayn. But the fact is that this is a guy that probably was never supposed to be a main event.
Yeah.
And he said it last night in his promo the best. Around this time of year, a lot of people point to the WrestleMania sign, but all he pointed to was right above him, that 30, what do they call it, 3,000 pound or 30,000 pound steel cage, the Elimination Chamber. He pointed to that, saying that that is going to be the biggest match of his career, that moment, that event. And to do it on hometown soil, good for him. And also, side note, I'm not a Habs fan whatsoever, but that shirt is fucking fire. Honorary Hab.
I want it so bad.
That's a fire shirt. I'm not a hockey fan. Like, I am a hockey fan, but I'm indifferent. People are like, "Oh, you're a Leafs fan. Fuck you. Canadians are better." Yeah, probably, but I don't care. I really don't. When it comes to sports, I am very biased in my baseball choices.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And my football choices and my basketball choices. Yeah. There is nothing else. I mean, hockey, I'm a fan. I love the sport and I do love playoff hockey, but I'm also indifferent.
Right.
I always think that the best team should win, and 95% of the time, the best team that win are usually 65% Canadian anyway. So really, we win the Stanley Cup all the time. So it doesn't really, I mean, yes. But yes, the last Canadian team to win it was Montreal, 1993. 30 years. What? All I said, I was being nice.
No, I know.
It's not hard math skill. You fucking 93, 2003, 2013, 2023.
You got great math skill.
Thank you. Thank you, sweet pea. All right. Anyways, let's get into this amazingness that is the Elimination Chamber, Montreal, tonight, 8 p.m. on the WWE Network or Peacock Network, wherever you are. For us here in Canada, it's the WWE Network. Or you can order it on pay-per-view. I don't know why. I mean, really, it's $13.99. Just buy the network.
Yeah. It works out a lot better for you.
Why are you going to pay $75? Yeah. It just makes no sense. Yeah, pay-per-view is now crazy. Ridiculous. Insane. And hence pay-per-view, right? You're paying, and you know the thing that sucks about pay-per-view? If you don't record it or have something, it's $75 one shot, at least on the network. You can go back and watch again and again. Again and again. All right, and the first match is, or at least what we predict, again, this is our version of the card. It's not the card that's going to be set in stone, but this is the first one. I believe, much like the Royal Rumble, they're going to kick it off with the girls, and I don't understand why, but hey. So this is first shot at Bianca Belair's Raw Women's Championship, because as we know, Rhea Ripley won. She challenged Charlotte Flair. That's happening WrestleMania. So the SmackDown Women's title is all tied up in a nice little bow. This is for the women's. So we've got Natty Neidhart, obviously a staple here in Canada, a member of the Hart Foundation family, a member of the Hart Dynasty, if you will. Not a surprise that she would be in the Elimination Chamber. We also have former SmackDown champion Liv Morgan. We have multiple-time women's champion Asuka. We have NXT champion now coming up to chase her first title, Raquel Rodriguez.
Right.
We have the always crazy Nikki Cross, not ASF or almost none of that shit. We have Nikki Cross back to being Nikki Cross.
I love it.
And also, too, like last night, kudos to Nikki Cross, sitting on the announce table, watching the girls' match happen, which was Asuka versus Liv, and being on the announce table between Michael Cole and Bad News Barrett, and smiling, that crazy psycho smile the entire time. Was just out. People don't give Nikki Cross credit for how she really does do those subtle little things that just make you appreciate who she is. And then, of course, last but not least, Carmella, Mrs. Graves, whatever you want to call her, Carmella, she's mixed in this match. And this one, I want to say this is highly predictable.
Yeah, who do you say is
Okay,
gonna win?
because just follow me. Go down the rabbit hole that is George. You followed me a few times. Go down the rabbit hole.
Let me get comfy.
Get comfy. Put your feet up. Get your stitch mug. Okay, so Natty versus Bianca. We have seen it, not for a title, but we've seen it.
Okay.
Liv versus Bianca, we've seen it.
Yes.
Asuka versus Bianca, we've seen it.
Yes.
Nikki versus Bianca, even when she was in that stupid character,
Yeah.
we've seen it. Carmella versus Bianca, we've seen it on a Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
There's one variable that we haven't seen. There's one variable that they're making the second coming of China, if you will. They're building her up to be a phenom, a powerhouse, and that's Raquel Rodriguez.
Right.
Raquel Rodriguez versus Bianca Belair. It's a juxtaposition of almost the exact same rise. Except Bianca Belair never got her hands on the NXT title.
Right.
Raquel Rodriguez was unstoppable in her title reign. It was short,
Right.
but it was memorable.
Right.
Fact is, and also she is Mrs. Braun Strowman too, which, you know, kudos to her.
Really?
Well, they're not married, but they are dating.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I mean, they might be married. I'm not sure. But the fact is that while he was fired, she was carrying the load financially. Yeah, sorry. It's true. 100%.
Okay, we love seeing happy people.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Ricochet happy 20 times over with different members of the roster. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I don't care. Straight Talk Wrestling, that's what we do. But Raquel Rodriguez is, in my opinion, the logical choice. They're building her up to be this powerhouse phenom, which we haven't seen in a while in the women's division since the last phenom we had, which is also on the card, being Beth Phoenix.
Yeah.
When you think about big, strong, tough. Now, mind you, Rhea Ripley also could be in an argument for that category.
Absolutely.
But Rhea Ripley's already got her. People will be like, well, why would they want to have the same match? It's really not. It's not the same match. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. There's history there. And yes, we've seen it, but we haven't seen it with this version of Rhea Ripley, who I believe is the best version of Rhea Ripley we've seen thus far.
Absolutely.
Raquel Rodriguez, I don't know. It just, for me, that's a match that intrigues me. You got Raquel Rodriguez. She's awesome. She's strong. She's tough. You got Bianca Belair, who has been a testament to a fighting champion. This whole title reign. This is her longest title reign to date. It's almost going to be a full calendar year. I believe it's coming up.
Yeah.
A full calendar year. And they don't do long reigns like that anymore. So you have to, if somebody's going to take her out, yeah, okay, I get it. Asuka's back, but we've seen it. Asuka's main evented WrestleMania before. She's been in that match. I don't want to see it. I want to see something different. And I haven't seen Bianca and Raquel.
It's funny because when I saw that this match was going to be on the card and I was like, okay, who's involved? She was the only one for me as well that I was like, honestly.
You haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense for WrestleMania to show us that match.
Plus, on top of that, if you look at the past few years, Natty, Liv Morgan, even Asuka, Nikki, and Carmella, mid-card quality.
Yeah, since Natty had her title reign, the last title reign she had,
regardless of title reign.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
even actually, so you're even saying Liv Morgan, even in her title reign, was still mid-card? I'm not trying to be an asshole right now. I'm just asking.
No.
I mean, because in her title reign.
Say that because I didn't watch enough.
So you didn't pay. Okay, so
to comment on
so
something that I didn't.
Maybe you're right.
But what I'm saying is,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So even with her as champion, it didn't draw you to want to turn on your TV set.
No, but I'm also looking at them as like, okay, who are some mid-card guys that we know are mid-card? They're great guys. Sheamus. Like, you know, he's a guy who's putting in work. He's a great worker, right? Like, I think those women fall into something like that.
I get it. So they've got the staying power, just not enough to carry the strap right now in this new era that we're in, this new creative era.
Yeah.
That's the only creative thing that makes sense. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not shitting on anybody. They're all amazing in their own way. But I just think we are in an era where fresh blood, fresh meat is what we want to see. And like, I just looked at the match card and that's what I was drawn to. So if I'm saying that as a person who like watches like on and off, like I catch the highlights and stuff like that, if that's what I'm seeing, I can only imagine
that's like the most intriguing matchup for Bianca Belair.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And I like it. I agree with you on that. But that's the one that makes the most logical sense because everyone else we've seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
And no offense, I don't want to see Carmella's hand raised. Nikki Cross, you know, I love her too, but at the end of the day, let's call it spade a spade. I mean, and you know what?
But I want to see something with her and Alexa because if Alexa Bliss is getting like starting to turn dark, she needs somebody who's going to like not balance it out, but be almost as outlandish as that Fiend character was for her.
I like that. You know what? That would actually be pretty cool because we know that WrestleMania ends off storylines, new storylines begin. to set that up somehow.
Right.
Bianca versus who knows, or sorry, not Bianca, Alexa. Maybe who knows? Maybe Alexa Bliss comes out tonight, Elimination Chamber,
Right.
and she fucks over Nikki. Nikki and her have history. It's
Yeah.
there, so you know what? It's possible. I like that. I actually
Right.
do. That intrigues me. Well done. Well played.
Thanks.
Next match in the card, we've got the battle of the couple and the non-couple.
Yeah, I don't know.
We've got Finn Balor. Been happy to be there. His entire WWE run. We've got Rhea Ripley, this year's reigning defending Royal Rumble winner.
Yes.
And she will take on Charlotte Flair. So regardless of the fact, she's already punched her ticket to WrestleMania. It's happening. We don't know if it's night 1 or night 2 yet, but it is happening.
It's happening.
And we've got Edge and Beth Phoenix. Now, this matchup intrigues me because honestly and truly, I would have flipped this.
Yeah.
I would have put Damian Priest in there with Edge because technically Damian Priest was the first recruit that Edge had to Judgment Day.
Oh, yes.
So to me, that makes a
true.
little bit more logical sense. Actually, sorry, my apologies. Yeah, Damian Priest was the first recruit. Then it was Rhea Ripley. Then it was their beefing with Finn Balor. Then Finn Balor came to the dark side. Then Finn Balor turned on Edge, causing the whole debacle.
Okay.
And technically, Damian Priest has kind of been the assumed leader, or the I guess the unofficial leader of Judgment Day since they kicked Edge to the curb. So I think that makes more sense. I would have liked to see Finn Balor in the Elimination Chamber match.
That would have been cool, yeah.
But
yeah.
hey, you know,
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. But regardless of the fact, you've got Beth Phoenix coming back to the squared circle with her hubby to defend the family legacy that is the Copelands. So do I like it? Yeah, I do. Do I like how happy Edge is to be like battling with his wife? I love. Do I love the fact that after all these years, he's still walking around smacking her ass, and she's just like, "That's my husband. That's what he does."
I love it.
Yeah, it is great. And
I want that when I'm like 75, like, you know?
Absolutely. Well, and she does look phenomenal.
They look
She's aged a lot better than
fantastic.
Edge. It's just.
But he's been doing a lot of movies, and I think sometimes when you gotta get into like a fugue state with a character,
Fair
you
enough.
get lost in the sauce.
Yeah, okay,
You
fair
get
enough. Fair.
stressed.
You take on some stress. Fair enough. There are definitely his bags under his eyes for sure. He's a girl dad, so much like myself. So
They're
gotta chalk it.
stressing him out.
Yeah, fuck. Don't even get me started. And then you got Finn Balor, you got Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
So you've got two powerhouse females, and you've got Edge and you've got Finn Balor. Edge could still go. Finn Balor can always put on one hell of a match, even though he's never really been given a shot. And I know Finn Balor's kind of in the backslide of his career right now. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean he's only got a couple more years left in the tank. Let's be honest. And, I don't know how much more main eventing he has in him, but I wouldn't mind one more solid push before he hangs up the boots. But hey, whatever they have planned for him, if it's anything like the way they built up Sami, then I'm okay patiently waiting to see what they have planned for Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, Finn Balor going at Bray Wyatt. We've never really seen the Demon and Bray Wyatt tangle in any way, shape, or form. So if somehow they could work Bray Wyatt and his, Wyatt family into something with Judgment Day, I think would be fucking incredible. But that's obviously not the way they're going for this WrestleMania anyways.
No, and we haven't seen the Demon in a while. Like I would want to see a slow build of that, like taunting him.
Yeah.
Like how they're doing it with Alexa.
Well,
like,
maybe they do it. Maybe they do it. Maybe Judgment Day is at its tail end, because really, let's be honest, how long can this faction keep going? With Dominic Mysterio yelling, "Don't talk to mommy." Listen, mommy's about to get gold on her waist, and she's gonna drop you, kid. She's gonna fucking drop you. So how much more longer can Judgment Day go? But regardless of the fact, we kind of went off the rails a little bit.
Yeah.
When you look at this matchup, Beth Phoenix, Edge, former leader, creator of Judgment Day, versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley, who you got? I mean, also, too, side note, do you care?
To be honest, I'm not that invested in this storyline. I think I'm more invested to see when everything splits up and they go their own way, because
you want to see what's in for them creative post these things.
Yeah. Because we know that Edge and Beth Phoenix can put on a clinic. Like, absolute, right? Like, it doesn't matter how old they get, they're still able to move pretty close to when they were.
She looks like dare I say she's better now than she was.
Aged nicely, like wine, or like.
Yeah, well, no, she's just better now in terms of even her in ring work. I find her to be smoother than she was her first go around to WWE.
Well, I think that also comes into play of like you're learning a lot. Like she took a break, she retired, she had kids, like she's had a chance to not be there, and like most people, you reflect and say, okay, you know what? If I had a chance to go back, what would I do different?
It's always the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame inductee bug always happens, and it's like, I could do one more. I could go one more. you know. And also, plus, this is Edge's final run. This is
Yeah,
Edge going out,
absolutely,
and he's
yeah.
already said that he wants to retire at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I believe it's going back to Toronto next year, if I'm not
Nice.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Or yeah, no, I don't think it's this year. No, they've already announced it for Michigan this year. It's next year. It's going to be SummerSlam, or yeah, it's going to be SummerSlam in Toronto. He said he
Yeah.
wants to retire on home soil in Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where he said he wants to go out. So SummerSlam 2025, I believe, will be in Toronto, or 2024. Sorry, will be in Toronto. So that's where. Listen, I'm tired. It's been a long day already.
Me too. You confused me. I was like, wait.
All right. So who do you got in this one? Storylines aside, the fact we're not into this storyline. Who do you got?
Honestly, I'm gonna say Edge and Beth Phoenix,
Okay.
just so that something can happen between them, and like somebody can blame the other of like, oh well, like you.
Oh, so we want to see the cracks form in the Judgment Day. Makes logical sense. I was actually going to agree with you on that point. I believe Edge and Beth for the win on this one, and we can move on hopefully from the storyline.
Perfect.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice with a bow. I like it.
Men's Elimination Chamber match. Now this is for Austin Theory's United States Championship.
Yeah.
That's right. And you've got some names in there. You got Montez Ford, who fans have been clamoring for to kind of get that singles run. Don't get me wrong, we love Dawkins, but Montez Ford, every tag team has that breakout star.
Absolutely.
Montez Ford is the breakout star. You've got Johnny Gargano, you got Bronson Reed, you got Austin Theory, the reigning defending champ, you got Damian Priest, and you have the Monday Night Messiah. This, what do you want to call him? The architect. There's 50,000 names. You've got Seth Rollins, and I hope he dons those boots. Those red boots are fucking everything. They're amazing. They look like they came out of Super Mario game, and I loved every second of it. When you can curb stomp somebody with those boots, it's bravo. It's bravo. And who better to have it happen to than the Miz? I mean, I'm a Miz guy, but who better to have it happen to?
He's that guy.
He is that guy.
He's that guy.
He's right behind you, actually. There he is, the toy right there. And the autograph, too.
Nice.
The Miz, he's that guy. Yeah, that's my boy.
Awesome.
That's my boy.
Awesome.
Awesome. So
I did not plan that, by the way.
Just rolled off the tongue.
It absolutely did.
It's chemistry right there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, when you look at this match card, I'm going to go first on this one if you're okay. There's a lot of names that I feel like deserve a push. Like I said, Montez Ford is that breakout star. I think he's going to have a memorable performance in this Elimination Chamber. However, I don't believe him winning. Austin Theory, listen, the kid is so young. He has so much potential. He is fantastic. The push happened too quick, in my opinion. And then it faltered, and the creative direction has been so-so for Austin Theory. Seth Rollins, he's been multiple-time champion of every belt under the sun. I've seen gold on Seth Rollins. I always like Seth Rollins in a grudge match situation. I wouldn't mind seeing Seth Rollins versus The Miz at WrestleMania, but that's not going to happen. It's obviously going to be Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
The best Seth Rollins, though, was the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, the screw over.
Like,
screw over Seth
oh
Rollins.
God,
of course. Absolutely. You got Damian Priest in there, who he's been a champion a couple times. The runs have been short. You got Gargano, who has not achieved gold on the main roster at all. So there's options there. And then you got the returning Bronson Reed, which again, I like Bronson, but I'm not invested in him as a champion. So honestly, truly, who do I see winning? Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And here's why. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul, WrestleMania. It's already in the cards. It's going to happen. So why not do it with gold on the line?
Something to fight for.
Something to fight for other than just pride and respect.
Right.
Logan Paul wants everyone to respect him. And he's had 3 matches in WWE, and all 3 matches have been entertaining as fuck. The guy can go. We've seen him in big title fights, all with Roman in Saudi Arabia, and it was one hell of a fight. It was a really good fucking match. I mean, the live selfie over, this is for you, Roman, the elbow, like it was great. It was fucking great. I think Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins for gold at WrestleMania, the US strap, I see it. You know what? I wouldn't even mind throwing Austin Theory in there, making a kind of triple threat situation. But at the end of the day, I think Seth Rollins will take it, and I think he's going to punch his ticket right to WrestleMania against Logan Paul.
Interesting.
Who do you got?
I'm going to go with the wild card, and I am going to say Montez Ford. I'm going to say that. I absolutely love his athletic ability. I've been to live shows where we've seen him.
We've seen what he can do, absolutely.
I don't know.
Do you think if they do put the strap on him that the Street Profits are no more?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily right away. I think we all know what happens when you have any sort of faction, any tag team.
Yeah.
At some point,
Shawn
we're
Michaels,
gonna-
Mark Jannetty. It's happened
Yeah.
a billion fucking times.
Someone's getting thrown.
They actually just recreated that on NXT not a few weeks ago with Toxic Attraction.
Oh, really? Okay. I didn't see
Gigi
that.
got the fucking super kick and then not thrown through the window, but got thrown through Bailey's door. And yeah, it was very reminiscent.
Beautiful.
So they've recreated that moment most recently. So there you go.
But I don't think necessarily right away. I think maybe what happens is he wins. Maybe
Dawkins gets a little jealous.
Maybe he gets,
or maybe he gets cocky.
He gets a little cocky of like, yo, I can do this on my own. Like, I won this. Maybe I can go for the main title.
Yeah.
Or he does get jealous. Like, it could go either way. Or they could just be content. Like, he could really just be a bro and be like, dog, I'm happy for you. Like,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Then scheme to take it away from him at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
there it is. I was waiting for who's wait. He can't just be bro. Look, I was so happy to carry you out to the ring, dog. One look. Yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. Dawkins will go dark, if you will.
So, I think putting gold on new people serves for different storylines. It may be like the same setup of like, okay, yeah, my best friend turns on me, but it's two different people that we haven't seen played those two roles before.
Right.
Right.
And
Sometimes it's not the role, it's the actor.
Fair enough. That's good. That's a good point. All right, you're going with Ford.
Yeah.
I'm going with Rollins. We'll see what happens. It's going to be good nonetheless.
Yeah. I'm excited for this one.
And now one of the two matches I think a lot of people are excited for. This is. I mean, yeah, okay, I get it. Brock versus Bobby. We did get it once before and it wasn't great.
Yeah.
This time feels different. This time feels like it is just for respect. It is just to see who is the better man. It is just with everything on the line. And there's no better place for it to happen. Now, I did mention Brock has not had much luck on Canadian soil. All the Survivor Series 2016, Goldberg, the whole thing. Yeah.
It's playing in my head right now.
Yeah, minute 48. It has to be playing in your head, but for a very short time.
Yeah, it's on loop. Yeah.
It's on consistent loop because it really is. It's very quick. You watch it, it'll stop by. Yeah, you do. You really do. So you've got that. You've got the almighty Bobby Lashley coming off a couple of great title runs, his WWE Championship run and his US Championship run.
Right.
So Bobby Lashley has had gold recently. Brock, on the other hand, has not had gold recently. So it's been a juxtaposition. They're kind of at this stalemate. So what do we do? Well, let's put these two big boys together and let's let them throw down. And we already know, like I said, Bray Wyatt making a statement, well known last night on SmackDown. Bobby, to quote Bray himself, Bobby or Brock, whoever wins, run.
Perfect.
He's got his eyes set on the winner of this match, and that'll be whoever punches their ticket. So the winner of this match will punch their ticket to WrestleMania for a one-on-one with Bray Wyatt, and I cannot wait to see the mind games that ensue.
As soon as he knows who it is.
I would love it to be Brock Lesnar because I have this whole idea in my head.
Brock. I think Brock is going to take this.
I'm going for Brock too. And the reason why I want it to be Brock is because the mind games that fucking Bray Wyatt, the Firefly Funhouse, Uncle Howdy, that they could play with Brock Lesnar and all the fun that they could have with this. Like, could you imagine Brock going to his house in fucking Saskatchewan and all of a sudden there's a demonic tractor like chasing him around on the cornfield? Like, I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
I think.
And I mean hilarious in the best, most entertaining way possible.
Yeah.
I just think they could do some cool fucking shit.
That's what I was thinking too. Like Bobby Lashley, I think Bray Wyatt, Bobby Lashley. I think that could be a good.
Either way, this will be fun. But
the build up to it,
yeah,
it's better with Brock. I think, and Brock Lesnar looks so happy now. He's more fit. Like I think Royal Rumble, I definitely noticed he looks fantastic.
Yeah,
he's in
you're right.
Great shape.
You're right.
And he's happy. He's been smiling a lot lately. And
Cowboy Brock is the best version of Brock. It is.
It's beautiful.
It is.
But to see that flip afterwards of like, now he's got this guy fucking with him and now like Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Happy Guy needs to be mean again. And
well, the fact that fucking, I mean, what was it, a couple weeks ago on Raw, Bobby just put Brock through that fucking table and Brock popped right the back the fuck up and they were just going, the whole locker room was out there. I mean, we've seen them before.
But not like this.
Not like this. This hits different, man. This hits fucking different. And I'm excited for this one. So we're both going Brock on this one.
For sure.
Just because Bray Wyatt versus Brock has got that little bit more entertaining edge, unless Bobby Lashley just allows for free reign on what will happen. That could be exciting too. But regardless, the winner of this punches their ticket to go one-on-one with Bray Wyatt, definitely at WrestleMania. And now for the main event of the evening.
You guys.
Who would have thought a year ago we would be here? Sami Zayn, after WrestleMania, after losing to Johnny Knoxville, getting pinned via a rat trap, a very large rat trap in Johnny Knoxville, would go to Roman the next night on Raw, say he wants an opportunity, he wants to do this. We get Sami Zayn at War Games. We get all the emotion there. We get Kevin Owens promo, they're not your blood. They're never going to be your blood. We get all of that. We get the trial of Sami Zayn, which was fucking legendary.
Epic. Yeah.
We get everything. And then we get the epic brother versus brother history-saving moment where Sami Zayn had to choose between his brother now and his leader, Roman Reigns, or his brother that he's been up and down the road with, fought forever, will probably fight forever, his ultimate best friend, rival, frenemy, whatever you want to call it, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Just saving him, hitting Roman with that chair, and then the slow build to where it was. I thought right after that, Raw were going to get some answers. We did not get any answers on Raw. None of them.
They played it right.
They played it perfectly. We had to wait till SmackDown to get the answers. We didn't know where Jay was. We didn't know if Sami was going to be in the building. And then we got this big, we're going to get you. You destroyed my family. I'm going to beat you in front of yours.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn, who would have thought this? I said this to you earlier in the car before we pre-recorded. We were kind of planning strategy. Who would have thought that Sami Zayn is the modern day Bret Hart for Canada?
Right?
Who would have fucking thunk it? If you had asked me literally 10 months ago, would I think that this is going to happen? Fuck no. Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought Sami Zayn would be challenging Roman Reigns for the undisputed title in Montreal at the Elimination Chamber, the last stop before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You can't write this any better than what it is. Sami Zayn deserves to be here. It's well overdue. We've talked about Sami a few times over the years, how he has so much potential, just plagued with injuries in his early startup of his main roster run to, the battle that him and Owens had at NXT when Owens became the NXT. It was fucking incredible. That whole build up between the two of them was great. And then Sami challenging for the U.S. Championship against John Cena.
Right.
And then he hurts his arm right away, main roster, take a setback, and then just plagued with creative disaster after creative disaster to get to where we are now.
Right. They definitely pegged him as that mid-card wrestler after those injuries. I think something switched in their minds of like, okay, this guy's like accident prone or whatever, so we got to maybe take a chill pill here. And then, new talent comes around, you forget about that person. But I'm so happy to see him get his shot at like real gold after like everything. This is a real underdog story. But it's also much like Roman, right, where they kept trying to shove him in our faces, and we just kept not wanting it with him and Brock Lesnar. But this whole thing is built very much different than
built right.
Yeah.
When I realized that Sami Zayn was more over than I think they expected, when they were in Saudi Arabia for a crown jewel. It's Roman versus Logan Paul. And all you hear is, I don't know, let's say 100,000 people in that stadium, whatever was in that stadium, 77, whatever thousand, chanting, "We want Sami."
Yeah.
When someone of Serbian heritage, Sami Zayn, is in a place where Serbians are not welcomed.
Right.
And he is being chanted, "We want Sami Zayn." That's when
it speaks volumes. Yeah.
It speaks fucking volumes. And like I said, who would have thought, like last night, seeing the ovation that Montreal gave him, the energy in that building. And the fact that, they allowed him to really pretty much break character, have that moment, soak in that emotion, and that one shot of the little tear, and he just flicked it away with his hand.
Yeah.
That was everything.
Yeah.
That was, and you know what? The promo only lasted a minute after the 7 minutes of the fans just fucking. But you know what? It was so well deserved. And the fact is, Sami cut that promo. It was perfect. And I know Sami's going to leave it all out there tonight. Will he win? No, he won't. As much as we want to see it, and I think it would be great if it happened, it's not in the cards. It's not in the cards. It's always been, the plan has been since at least last WrestleMania for Cody to be the guy to take the belts off of Roman. And I wouldn't even mind Sami somehow working his way in as a triple threat.
Right.
I wouldn't mind it. But I know this match tonight is going to be epic. We are going to see Sami Zayn at his best. Now, do I think that there will be interferences from the bloodline? Yes, I do. Solo will be there. We already know that Jimmy has been instructed to stay at home. So is Jay. Jay, we don't know where his allegiances lie, but we did see again. We saw the behind the the kind of behind the trucks,
like that.
the kind of behind the trucks. I acknowledge you, and then it was just like
it was quick, and I'm like, bro,
why are you meeting Sami Zayn behind trucks? What's happening? It's like I don't know. It was a little star-crossed lovers, if you ask me. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Just the way they set it up. It was like it's like when you're cheating on when you're cheating.
It was nice though because it was like, man, this guy's a good guy. He needs a friend. Like, I'm upset that my family's turning their back on this guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
And like he's just in a shitty position.
Just in a shitty position.
You know.
But you know what? I think that Solo will get involved. And do I think that there will be another fellow Quebec native? Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is going to come out there to either be the catalyst to take care of Solo or be the one that somehow runs off Paul Heyman or runs off any upper hand that Roman Reigns may have. Kevin Owens will show up as the equalizer. But regardless, this isn't Kevin Owens' moment. He's main evented. He's had his moments.
Right.
This is Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn. This is Sami Zayn's moment. Montreal's favorite son, Montreal's forgotten son, a man that would not be on anybody's prediction show to talk any length. Nobody would expected Sami Zayn 10 months ago to main event. And anybody that did say that, you're full of crap. There's no way in hell you could have expected this storyline to be the most riveting thing we've seen in wrestling in a very long time.
Very long time, yeah.
To where AEW marks are tuning in, even though they're... Oh, speaking of AEW, just to go on a side tangent, Tony Khan, seriously, dude, Hawani is not your property. He was given an opportunity to come on SmackDown, have some cool moments, and you had to take it all away. You had to turn something in his... But you know what, Hawani, you're a gangster. You're a fucking gangster because the way you handle Tony Khan, I love you. G move, bro. Yeah. You're awesome. And Tony Schiavone, you've never been remotely interested in being a reporter. You're a commentary guy. There's no need for... I don't know why Tony threw shade at you. I have no idea. I mean, I get it, but there was no need to. In fact, Tony Khan, you're off the rails. I don't know what's going on with you, dude. There was no need for you to get involved in this nonsense. Absolutely none. You want to... Listen, clean your own fucking house before you talk about anybody else's house. Hawani's house, WWE's house. Clean your fucking house. Get your shit in order before you're going to run your mouth about anybody. Am I wrong?
Yeah. People who live in glass houses should not throw...
Tony Khan lives in the biggest fucking glass house on an island filled with fucking glass, all fucking kinds. Tony Khan, dude, I love your product. I hate you. And I know you don't give a flying fuck, but I hate you with every fiber of my being. AEW, your roster is awesome. Your booking, so-so. But your roster is fucking fantastic. Yeah. I have your merchandise. I'm not a mark, but I have your merchandise. I appreciate your roster. It's right there. I appreciate your roster. I do not appreciate you. I've never been a Tony Khan fan. There's nothing remotely interesting about you in any way, shape, or form, except daddy's money. That's it. Plain and simple. So clean your own fucking house before you start throwing shit at anybody else. Sorry, that was a tangent I had to go on. It was just fucking annoying. But Hawani, you're a G. You handled it like a fucking pro. And Tony Khan, shut the fuck up, please. There's no need for you to be speaking at all. Anyways, that's Elimination Chamber. That's everything under the sun. We've talked about it. Yeah. Now it's time to lock it in. This is our predictions. Comment below what you liked about this prediction show, what you didn't, even if you didn't like my rant about Tony Khan. I know there are a couple of AEW marks that are going to say some ignorant shit. Oh, he's fat. Look at him. He thinks he's Bubba Ray Dudley with his chain. Whatever.
You're welcome. It's not what people call you. It's what you answer to.
So there you go. That's what I think all those fucking keyboard warriors out there, because it's going to happen regardless of the fact. But look at this fucking guy. He doesn't know fucking shit about red. That's great. It's awesome. Thank you for the view. I appreciate you. Your comment will not make the light of day because I review all my comments. Yeah. If you're going to keyboard warrior me, fucking go ahead. Fact is, like I said, I love the AEW product. I hate the owner.
Yeah.
Just like I love the WWE product.
Yeah.
I hate the fucking owner. But listen, anybody that says anything about Vince McMahon, remember this. Modern day wrestling, the way it is now, no territories, none of that. We wouldn't have it without Vince McMahon. So I'm just going to throw that out there. So say what you want to say about Vince McMahon. He is the founding father of the modern day pro wrestling. And you know what? Is he going to sell the Saudis? Probably $12 million is on the fucking table. He only wants $9. There's $3 billion more there. So Yeah, so the Saudis are most likely. But while WWE's North American property, enjoy it. Enjoy tonight's Elimination Chamber. Enjoy the rest of the road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we'll see where things go from there. As always, I'm your host, your boy, George McKay. I want to thank my special guest today, Michelle Rujo, who stands my rants and all that stuff. You felt I looked a little uncomfortable when I was swearing about Tony Khan. Did I?
No,
I mean?
no, I was
Okay.
like, oh, you're really going in. You're going in.
I haven't had a rant like that in a while. I haven't. Listen, I love pro wrestling, the good, the bad, and the Tony Khan. That's right.
The good, the bad, and the
That's it. There's a soundbite for you there. So peace, love, and wrestling.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you guys at the next prediction show. Deuces. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to tune in next week for another great episode on all available podcast platforms and hosted on Podbean. Also, check us out on YouTube at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Instagram at Straight Talk Wrestling, on Facebook at Straight Talk Wrestling, and on Twitter at _Straight Talk. And if you feel the need to buy some sweet merch, check us out on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Leaving the scene with no trace, not in my league. You out of place. I'm not at the top. I'm outer space. Can't eat with us. We're out of place. I'm doing fine. I'm feeling great. You're not my fan. You can't relate. Straight talk going state to state.